Hello everybody, Loader for Life here, bringing guys a brand new video. So Vjump has finally leaked, and I am so excited because it just really is awesome. Now, one thing about Vjump this time around, they actually did everything online, in that all the cards are online. You can see, like, it's basically, they released all the new cards online at one time. And it's just really interesting in how they did this, because now we got better scans technically. But however, at the same time, the text is super tiny, so a lot of these card texts are subject to change to an extent, like because some of the finer print just might be a tiny bit off. Like for instance, like attack and defense value like changes and stuff, or something like that. Now, with that being said, though, what we do have is incredibly interesting. I've kind of just briefly looked over it. We got 3 archetypes to talk about. Okay, well, I believe 3 archetypes, and then one that is getting some random freaking legacy support, and I'm not happy about it because I really do not like the archetype that got random legacy support. So let's get on with this. So first and foremost, oh, by the way, the OCG ban list also came out. I'm not going to cover it unless like you guys really want to hear my thoughts on it. The OCG ban list, basically the most notable thing is that Broad Bull's banned, and Masterpiece, Dragonic Diagram, and Snow are all at 1, which is pretty telling, and I think that's very likely to happen over in TCG, but that's literally it. Oh yeah, and BLOS is at 3 for some reason. I don't know why, but I kind of want that to happen so that my Black Luster Soldier deck is 100 times better. Anyways, so enough with that, and let's get on with the big things. And first and foremost, V-LAN Hydra. So he's a light Cyberse, Link effect, Link 3, 1900 attack power. His links are up, down, and left, or sorry, top, bottom, and left, whatever you want to call it. He needs at least 2 non-token monsters, and then he can only use his second effect once per turn, and it's a hard once per turn. So his first effect is he gains 300 attack for each card in a mutual link with it. That's okay. It's at max. He can be 2400 if he's in the extra monster zone and he's pointing to a monster and a monster's pointing to him, and both the zone that's above him and below him. That's okay. But the real thing that you're going to be using this guy for a lot is his second effect. You can target one Link 3 or lower monster at this card's mutual link point. So you gotta have another Link monster, another Link 3 or lower that's pointing to him and he's pointing to them. Now that being said though, you can also target one of your opponent's monsters, and that is really key. So you cannot special summon a monster with the same amount of Link arrows as that target for the rest of his turn. So if you target like a Link 2, you can't summon a Link 2, and if you target a Link 3, you can't special summon, you can't go for a Link 3. Which is a bit annoying, because then you can't, like, send your... let's finish this. So you tribute that target, and then if you do special summon V-LAN tokens, or V-LAN tokens, Cyberse type, light, level 1, attack 0, defense 0, equal to that monster's link arrow amount. So, let's say you have a Hydra out, okay? Or rather, let's say your opponent has a Firewall Dragon, okay? And for this example, let's say they already used this effect, so you don't have to worry. Oh wait, no, I can't use Firewall Dragon. Let's say your opponent has a Deco Talker, and you don't have to worry about its effect to negate targeting. Okay? You make a V-LAN Hydra, and then you use his effect, and then you target your opponent's Deco Talker. You send that target to the graveyard, well, you tribute it off, and then you get to special summon 3 V-LAN tokens, and you can make you can go straight into a Link 4 or a Link 2, whatever you want. You just can't go into a Link 3. This card is a very powerful potentially, because this can really screw over a lot of stuff. Since Link 3 and lower seems to be the key thing for the most part, and that's what you're going to be seeing the most part. Yeah, you will see the occasional Link 4, but in my experience, Link 4s just don't happen very often. More often than not, you see Link 3s. So you can get rid of your opponent's Deco Talker, or your opponent's Trickstar Hollybell, or Trickstar Sweet Angel. Send it to grave, get tokens, and then make something else. It's really stupid. I like this. It's really good. I don't know how many you want to play, or how really big he's going to be, like in terms of like how many people are actually going to be playing him. But I can see this card being very powerful throughout the Link era and everything. And then more 6 Samurai deck. More 6 Samurai cards. Why is this archetype getting more support? Sorry, I came back into Yu-Gi-Oh! With 6 Sams at full power and everything, and I had to face against this deck a lot because people still... This deck is still a fan favorite, and it's really obnoxious. That being said, why the heck is this deck getting a fusion monster? I figured if anything, this deck would have gotten a Link monster. Now that being said though, now 6 Samurais will have a Xyz, a Synchro, and now a fusion. So then all they need is a Pendulum, a Ritual, and a freaking Link monster, and they have everything. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were to eventually get everything. I'll be honest, I have not read this support, so this is going to be a first. So, first and foremost, we have Shadow 6 Samurai Genba. He's a Fire Warrior Tuner effect. So that's this guy. I gotta be honest though, I really like the artwork on all of these new 6 Sams. I'm just not the biggest 6 Sam fan. Bad memories of this deck. Oh god, my friend DJ would be obsessing, like just freaking spazzing out right now with new support for this deck. He's a tuner, effect, level 2, 500 attack, 2100 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one of your banished 6 Samurai monsters, add it to your hand. If exactly one 6 Samurai monster you control would be destroyed by battle, or sorry, by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. I don't know how useful this thing is going to be. Mostly because, in my experience, 6 Samurais don't really banish too often, except whenever they summon the level 6 dude who needs to banish 2 dudes from your graveyard. Which, not a lot of people even play that guy anymore, so, I don't know. This seems interesting. He can grab himself, though, which is funny, and he just kind of do a little cycle. So pretty nice that you can save your dudes by banishing from your graveyard. Next up is Shadow 6 Samurai Hatsumi. I almost want to call her Hatsumi Miku, but oh well. Water Warrior effect. Level 3, 1600 attack, 1500 defense. Really great artwork on her, and pretty decent stats too for level 3. You can only use this card's name's first effect once per turn. You can banish 2 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard and or face up from your field and target 1 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard, except yourself, special summon it. Okay, so that's how you get more stuff banished. And it's pretty nice too, because due to links and everything, you're not going to be able to spam out the field of a bunch of Xians or whatever. And so you're going to have some way of getting your dudes back from grave, which is really nice. If exactly 1 6 Samurai monster you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Huh. Okay, so he can do it, she can do it. I wonder if the other guy's going to do it too. And he's got the monkeys on his card art, so I guess he's going to support the monkeys. Level 4, 1900 attack, and hey, look at that. His second effect is exactly what I thought it was. 1900 attack, 1000 defense. Level 4, Earth Warrior, which is pretty good. Helps from making Barkion and Beast. When this card is special summoned, you can add 1 6 Samurai monster that does not share an attribute with any monster you control from your deck to your hand. Okay, how are you going to be special summoning this guy very often? And I know that 6 Samurais have a bunch of different attributes, but you will never be able to add an Earth unless, like, your opponent has DNA surgery out and called Light or something. I don't know. Oh, wait, no, that would be... crap, I forget which one does attributes. DNA surgery does typing. So, this card is interesting. I don't know how often he's going to be useful. 6 Samurais, in my experience, don't have many ways of special summoning other 6 Samurais. They have a bunch of ways to special summon themselves, but not many ways of special summoning other 6 Samurais. And that being said, though, you can always full Sparial them and call it on them back or something. This is not a once per turn effect, so if you get all 3 in your graveyard, you can soul charge them all back and add 3 monsters from your deck to your hand. That seems fair. Pretty good overall, I would say. And then finally, we got the Fusion Monster. Shadow 6 Samurai Rihan. Light Warrior Fusion Effect, level 5, 2400 attack to 2400 defense. Wow, both stats are the same. They don't know how many 6 Samurai monsters, but they gotta be with different attributes. I guarantee you it's gonna be 2. 6 Samurais are all about the spamming and all about the just flooding the board with new stuff. And I could see this very easily just being 2 6 Sams with different attributes. That'd be super easy for the deck to do. He cannot be used as a fusion material, and he must first be special summoned from your extract by sending the above cards you control to the graveyard. You do not use polymerization. This is really good because polymerization would just be incredibly inconsistent with the deck, and this basically is... Contact Fusion is basically synchro summoning, so that is something the deck already excels at, so it's going to be really, really good for that. I find it funny how you can't use himself as a fusion material. I don't know if they're going to get more fusions, but it's still pretty awesome. Well, not awesome, but just funny. Once per turn, you can banish 1/6 Samurai card from your graveyard or that you control face up. Then target one card on the field, banish it. Wow, that is... This would be so much better if it was a once per turn during your opponent's turn, but irregardless, being able to just banish any card on the field once a turn is really, really good. And then, if a 6 samurai monsters or monsters you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. That seems pretty good. I like that a lot. It's literally the same thing as the others. And this is actually from the Spirit Warrior set, which I think was just announced recently. Let's double check that. I'm pretty sure it was announced like just recently. So it's really awesome that they're already announcing the first stuff for that. I'm pretty sure... Let's see, let's find it real quick. October sleeves. Extreme Force, that was the new set they announced. Okay, so then what is Spirit Warriors? I don't know. Is that another set that I don't know about? Well, hopefully we get like some Evil Hero stuff or something. I don't know. Anyways, so on to stuff from Circuit Break. We got a new archetype called Altergeist, which sounds like Poltergeist mixed with, judging from the artwork, I'm guessing they mixed them with like legendary beasts. So like Poltergeist mixed with like centaurs, mermaids, harpies, and a UFO? I don't know. Anyways, we also know their boss monster who was revealed separately. And they also revealed it here as well, so that's interesting. I guess I won't have to have two tabs open. Anyway, so, first up is Altergeist Silkidus. When spellcaster effect, level 2, 800 attack, 1500 defense. They're spellcasters. That is interesting. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've only ever looked at the Link monster. I haven't looked at anything else. So, this is level 2, dude. So, dang it, you can't use Transmodify. I was just thinking, okay, they're all one level... They're all different levels. Maybe you could use Transmodify, but no, they have to be the same attribute, and that's not going to work. So, you can only use each of this card's name's effects once a turn. During your first turn, you can return one other Altergeist card you control to the hand and target a card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So it's literally a Kieran for the deck. That's cool. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target an Altergeist trap card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. That is pretty cool. I like that. Being able to grab the traps back is pretty nice, and we don't have any spell cards revealed yet, so that's interesting. But being able to grab back the traps is pretty nice. Especially if the traps are good. I don't know. I haven't looked at anything other than the boss monster. Next up, we got Altergeist Kunteri. So, yeah, just a centaur. Level 5, Earth Spellcaster, Effect Monster, 0 attack, 2400 defense. That's... I don't know. I don't like the stats on that. I wish it was swapped. I will say one thing, though. I really like the design of these. They look freaking scary. And I guess that's kind of what they're supposed to be. Scary. So, Kunteri, when your opponent declares an attack, if you control an Altergeist card, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, negate that attack. Okay. If this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls. While this card is face-up, that card's effects are negated. So, if your opponent declares an attack, you can special summon him, negate the attack. And when you special summon, you can basically negate the effect of a face-up card your opponent controls while Kunteri's out. That is pretty good. He's basically a Phoenix Chain and kind of a Battle Fader, but not really, because you have to have a monster out. And then we got Melusik, Altergeist Melusik, Water Spellcaster effect, level 1, 500 attack, 300 defense. You can only use this card's names 2 or 3 effects once per turn. God, I wish they would word that a bit better. But basically, you can only use the second or third effect once a turn. This card can attack directly. Okay, that's literally irrelevant, but 500 damage, yay. When this card... Okay, there we go. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one card your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. That's pretty awesome. And then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Altergeist monster from your deck to your hand, except itself. I like that. Being able to just poke for 500 damage, send a card, and then, oh hey, if it dies, you get to add a monster from your deck to your hand. Pretty nice. And another thing that I do want to note is that the ones that like get effects from being sent from field to grave, that counts for whenever they're being sent for a link summon. So that's really, really nice, because then you can, it's basically like just paying for itself for the link summon, which is really nice. So I guess that's, yeah, that's some mermaid, some Meluseek. And then we got one more, and that's Marionetter. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go over here for the boss monster. Marionetter, level 4 light spellcaster effect monster, level 4, 1600 attack, 1700 defense. And only use the second effect once a turn. When this card is normal summon, you can set one Altergeist trap card directly from your deck to your spell and trap card zone. So I guess you're not going to be getting any spell cards, because it seems like they're focusing on the traps, which is interesting, in which they got a continuous and a standard of. And then, of course, this is the 1600 dude. You can only use this card's second effect once a turn. You can target one face-up Altergeist card you control and one Altergeist monster in graveyard. Send the first target to the graveyard, and if you do, spell summon the second target from your graveyard. Which is pretty nice, because then you can bring back the boss monster. You can bring back one of your other monsters and get effects going and everything. And then, heck, if you sent like the mermaid or the harpy, I guess, you can get their effects to do stuff and add cards, which is pretty nice. My biggest issue with this deck so far, from what I've seen, not looking at the trap cards yet, is that they don't have very many ways of special summoning themselves, which means their Link 3 is going to be hard to summon. That being said, though, I hope to God the trap cards actually help out with that. Altergeist Protocol, the continuous trap card that shows like Meluseek just swimming. You can only use this card's second effect once per turn. The activation and effects of Altergeist cards and effects you control cannot be negated. That is mean. Because your opponent can't effect failure you, they can't strike you, except while they get to summon and stuff, but still, that is really, really mean. When an opponent's monster effect is activated, you can send one other face-up Altergeist card you control to the graveyard, and negate that activation. If you do, destroy it. Okay, so it's also the Divine Wrath, and that triggers, of course, their effects, so then you get to search and grab stuff from your graveyard. Pretty nice. Then the other trap card, Altergeist Camouflage. Normal trap card, target one Altergeist monster you control. Equip this card to that target. It cannot be targeted for attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. Oh my god, I haven't seen that in forever. Okay, so they haven't like said that in forever on a card. So I remember actually getting into a rolling dispute and stuff about something like this. They're like, oh, if the only monster you control is an Earthbound Immortal, your opponent can attack you directly. No, they can't. But however, if it says this, then yeah, your opponent can attack you directly. That is stupid. I mean, it helps with being able to go for links and everything, but it doesn't help with. That doesn't help you from taking no damage. Like, if your opponent has an OTK, you get OTK'd. You don't get saved from this. That is... When an opponent's monster affected targets the equipped monster resolves, negate that effect. Okay. If an Altergeist monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. I like the third effect the most. I will say this. I feel like that this is best equipped onto the boss monster, because then your boss monster is safe, and you don't have to worry about it being attacked. Still, I think that's just funny. Now then, for the boss monster, Altergeist Prime Banshee, I guarantee you there's going to be more boss monsters, more links, I should say. Would be really nice to see some more stuff for this deck. I don't know what exactly it's going to be getting, but oh well. Really like the artwork too, by the way. Like, holy crap, this artwork looks awesome. Comes off more as a Medusa than a Banshee, but hey, whatever. Link 3, Dark Spellcaster type, Link Effect Monster, 2100 attack, right, bottom, right, and bottom, which is just weird, but okay. 2 or more Altergeist monsters. You can only use this card. Each of this card's names effects once per turn. God, I hate how the wording works. During your first main phase, you contribute 1 Altergeist monster, except this card. Special summon 1 Altergeist monster from your deck at this card's link point. Really, really helpful. The issue is, again, this deck does not have any ways of actually making this thing. Because they just don't have many ways of special summoning. And you can't use Transmodify, because, well, they have to be the same attribute, and they're not. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing, but this deck just doesn't really seem like it's going to be having very much momentum. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target an Altergeist card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Pretty nice. Again, I like the card art. I love the First effect being able to just tribute off a dude, special another one, and then of course that'll trigger certain ones effects to be able to grab stuff and do stuff, which is really nice. Again, the issue is actually getting this out on the field, and it just doesn't seem really easy to do, like from what we've seen for Altergeist so far. Again, I like what I'm seeing so far, but it just isn't doing much. If you kind of get my drift, I gotta kind of like play the deck to really be able to get the feel for it and see how good it'll be. But right now, as I see it, I don't see this deck being very great. It's definitely intriguing. I like it. Then we got a new Trickstar, and then they're just showing off more of stuff we already know. Trickstar Narkiss. Really like the artwork. I don't know where they're getting the name Narkiss from, but I guess because it's doing the kiss move. I don't know. Has reverse stats of Candina, if I remember correctly. 1,000 attack and 1,800 defense. You can only use the first name's effect once per turn. Sorry, the first effect once per turn. If your opponent takes effect damage, you can spell summon this card from your hand. That's really nice. That is something that the deck needed, really, to be honest. And it needed more ways of special summoning. Candina's really nice. Lilybell is adorable and really, really helps out with just getting more stuff out on the field. But this is just a heck of a lot more practical. I really, really like that. And then each time your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or in the graveyard, inflict 200 damage to your opponent. Considering how like graveyard-oriented decks are nowadays, this is going to be possibly very hurtful. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see how much that's going to like really affect. And then activating in the hand as well, that hits like hand traps and everything. That is really, really, really mean. I like it. Sorry guys, it's early in the morning and I got a long day. And now we get to the Crawlers. Now then, they are nearly illegible and they need to squint hard. Yeah, the text, I mean, honestly, it doesn't look too illegible. Then again, I can't read Japanese. But, however, these effects may be updated or changed later on. And I gotta say, looking at the artwork, by the way, I have not looked at anything about the Crawlers yet. I really, really like the artwork and the lures that we're seeing. The Crawlers look really creepy and just everything. I can't tell what the heck that is. I mean, like, it just doesn't look anything like these. It kind of, judging from this, it looks like it's a giant dead monster and they're just kind of like hanging out on its body. The EX Crawlers look really cool. I mean, like, we saw the other one earlier. And then I freaking love this artwork on the Continuous Trap. Holy crap, that looks awesome. One of the Star Girls is preparing to fight a whole army of Crawlers, and there's like some kind of rainbow thing going on. Friendship beam, I suppose. I don't know. It looks really awesome, though. So, first and foremost, Crawler Spine. Level 2, Earth Insect type flip effect monsters. So they are indeed flip effects. Attack 300, defense 21. That is really nice. You can only use each effect to discard names effects once per turn. Flip, you can target one monster in the field, destroy it. If this face-up card leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, special summon 2 Crawler monsters of different names from your deck and face-down defense position except itself. That is pretty good. The issue is actually getting your opponent to destroy it with a card effect. I mean, I know Regeki's at 2. I mean, no, Dark Hole's at 2 and Regeki's at 1 and everything, but like, your opponent's not going to Dark Hole face down. And this isn't the days of... This isn't the days of like when people were playing Nobleman Across out or something. Even then, this card has to be face up. So I don't know. This card, the second effect might be a bit hard to trigger unless like something in this deck is kind of like that one Fable monster where it tricks your opponent's cards into like doing other things that benefit you. Another interesting thing that I literally just noticed is that these 3 Crawlers are all level 2. Okay, so. Crawler Axon, level 2 Earth Insect type flip effect monster. So they're all Earth and Insect, and I guess Axon is this dude. 518, yep, 518. So, you can all use... sorry, yawning again. He does basically the same thing, holy crap, but instead of destroying monsters on flip effect, he destroys spell and trap cards on the field. That's pretty good. I like that. Again, he does the same thing as Spine, but you know, again, like has to be. Has to leave the field by the opponent's card effect. That's not going to be easy to trigger. And then we got Crawler Dendrite. That is level attack 1300, defense 1600. Sorry, 600. So he's got flipped. You can only use each effect to discard's name effects once per turn. Flip, you can target. You can send one monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then he has the same effects. That's interesting. Pretty good, I guess, so far. We haven't really seen any reason to pitch everything in the grave yet, but oh well. Then we got the Star Relic Star Armor. Okay, so that is intriguing. I don't know what I want to know what the lore is. Like, this looks gigantic. Like, look at that. Holy crap. I want to, like, know what the lore of this is. It's so intriguing. Okay, so Star Relic Star Armor. Level 7 Dark Machine type effect monster. Attack 2500, defense 25. I don't know how dead armor like can be used as a monster, but okay. You can only use each effect of this card's names, effects once per turn. And when the monster is flip summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Star Relic card from your deck to your hand. Okay. During your first turn, if this card is normal summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck. Return both that card and discard to the hand. Okay, why is it that this only gets it whenever he's normal summoned? That's never going to happen. That's literally never going to happen. That's my same issue with the level 5 Star Relic and that you actually play in Stargrails. So, I don't know. that normal summon effect, judging by the Crawlers and how they play so far, that's never going to happen. It just never is. That being said, though, what we see so far, I really like. I don't know how much the Star Relic cards are going to help out Crawlers so far, unless like these are both named Star Relic, which is going to be interesting. But either way, I really like what we're seeing so far to Crawlers. Now then, we got another one of the Link 2s. It seems like everything about this deck is going to be like Link or level 2-ish. Because like these are all level 2s, and I believe so far all of the Links that we've seen are Link 2. I can't remember what the other one is, like right off the top of my head. And actually, really quick, I'm gonna bring him up because now's a perfect time to actually like talk about him, because I never did a video on him. I don't do dedicated videos to one card, mostly because there's just no reason for me to do that when everybody does it, and I'm not gonna have anything to add to the conversation. But wow, it was really that long since. Okay, so yeah, he is a Link 2. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the new ones. X-Crawler Synapses, Link 2 Earth Insect type effect monster, Link effect monster. Attack 1800, links left and right, obviously. Recipe. Sounds like you're cooking something up. 2 insect monsters. Okay, that's interesting. Since they're all insects, I can't wait to like play, I don't know, Pinch Hopper or something. I don't know. I'm obviously joking about Pinch Hopper, but Pinch Hopper is actually not terrible. He's summoned stuff from hand, but oh well. Anyway, so first effect, Crawler monsters at discard's link point cannot be destroyed by battle. They gain 300 attack and defense and can make up to 2 attacks on opponent's monsters during each battle phase. Wow. If this face-up card leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, or if it is destroyed by battle, you can target 2 Crawlers with different names in your graveyard, special summon them, and face down defense position. Pretty good, I like that. I wish he had a bit more attack power though. Next up we got X-Crawler Neurogus, and then for the record, I think that is Synapse, and that's Neurogus. Again, I'm loving the artwork on this archetype. It looks really freaking awesome. Anyway, so Neurogus, attack 1900, left and right, once again. Which means in combination with this guy over here, which is Quality Arc, you can open up all your zones, because you make this guy first, and then you summon out the other 2, and then one goes here, one goes here, and then they open up all your zones. If I'm like correct on all that, but I believe so. Yeah, they open up all your zones, which is really really cool. So 19 attack, 2 insect monsters, again super generic. Well, for the most part, I guess. Crawler monsters at discard's link point cannot be destroyed by battle. And then they gain 300 attack and defense, and any battle damage they inflict to your opponent is doubled. I love that. Then if this face-up card, yeah, has the same effect as the other 2 links. Speaking of the other 2 links, let's talk about Quality Arc real quick. YgoAmino seems to be the boss monster, and honestly has the best artwork out of the three X crawlers, if I have to be honest. In my personal opinion, at least. Link 2, 2000 attack, bottom left, bottom right, 2 crawler monsters. So he's specific to the deck. The other two are not. They are generic for the most part. They just need insects. So apply these effects depending on the number of crawler monsters you control. 2 or more monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense. Pretty good. 4 or more, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in the battle phase. That's really mean. 6 or more monsters you control can attack directly, and then he has the same effect as the other two, where if he's destroyed by battle or a card effect, or leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can target 2 crawlers in your graveyards of different names, spell summon them, and face down defense position. So this card really just focuses on swarming the field. That's where like a lot of the stuff is going to be coming from. Really powerful. Just allowing your monsters to attack directly. They gain 300, and then of course, thanks to the other 2 links, they'll gain another 300 from them. So that's like 600, 900 bonus attack power if you set things up right. And then of course, due to YgoAmino, they can attack directly. And then due to Nerogus, they will do double the battle damage. And due to Synapse, they can make 2 attacks on monsters. This is looking stupid. I love this, and I need a drink of tea. Good lord. Oh my god, they have more attack power. So, Shadow's creeping on a Star Relic. I freaking love this artwork. It's creepy looking. I mean, creepy. Crawler monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Pretty good. Once per turn, you can spell summon a level 2 or lower insect monster from your hand in face up or face down defense position. Pretty good. I mean, that with your normal summon is pretty much an instant YgoAmino, which is really good. And then when a foot monster you control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, you can send that opponent's monster to the graveyard. Wow. So this field spell looks pretty good. So it's a free spell to summon a turn. And then whenever one of your dudes dies, you can make your opponent... You can send that monster that killed your crawler to the graveyard. That is mean. Because then your opponent's like dissuaded from killing them in battle, which means they'll be more they'll want to more so destroy them with a card effect or something, but then that'll trigger their effects, summon out more of them, and I'm loving that idea. This comes off as, I don't know why, but these remind me a lot of the xenomorphs from Alien. I don't know why, but they just do. I mean, they're like very insectoid looking, and they just swarm like crazy, and look at that, they get everywhere. They're insects, and they are pests, but they get everywhere, and they are obnoxious and powerful. And I really like that. I can't wait for this to be on Dueling Book. I want to test it out, like, now. And then Star Relic's Puppet, which seems to imply that this Stargrail is joining them and not trying to fight them, which is intriguing, because this looks like Stargrail Chozon. And he, in his flavor text, said that he was constantly fighting the crawlers to keep them at bay, and then something caused them to get agitated a bit more and become even more obnoxious. So, it's a continuous trap card. You can only use one of this card's name's effects once per turn, and only once that turn. You can target one face-down monster you control, change it to face-up attack or defense position. Wow, why couldn't Subterrace get something like literal with this part right here in the name, like first set, please? Why not? Okay, you can shuffle one crawler monster from your graveyard into the deck, then target one face-up monster you control, change it to face-down defense position. Okay, so you got recursion, and then you got another way to book a moon. Pretty good. I like it. Now, my issue with this deck is pretty much the same thing as it was with crap, what are they called? Altergeist. In that, aside from the field spell, this deck does not have very many ways of swarming the field very fast. I know. Every single freaking monster in this deck summons out 2 more monsters whenever it dies. But the level 2s, the little guys, the ones in the main deck, they only trigger if they're sent by a card effect controlled by the opponent. If they were triggered by a card effect in period, like in general, the deck would be so much stupider, because Dragonic Diagram in this deck would be stupid, or Barrage in this deck would be stupid. Anything that could destroy your own stuff and let you plus off of it would be stupid, because just imagine like Barrage, pop a crawler, special summon 2 more crawlers, special summon Rat here, and just go off. Oh my god, no. Thank god they like put the restriction that it has to be destroyed by an opponent's card effect. But irregardless, that still hinders the deck quite a bit because it's not as powerful as it could be. And unless like destruction by your opponent's card effects becomes like super common, I don't know how much this deck is going to like really be able to do. I mean, I can see like your opponent like dark holing the board to try and like OTK you, and then oh hey, here comes 2 more crawlers, and then they're like, okay, not going to do that again. I'm really liking the links more than anything because the links are just really good. The main deck monsters are also really good too, but again, right now I just don't know what to really say, like how good this deck will be. I'm really loving it. I can't wait to play it. I really like the artwork and everything. It looks cool. It looks awesome. It looks freaky, and I just really like it. Now that being said, though, I still would really like to see something that like tricks one of like, let's say like a continuous trap card or something that says once a turn when your opponent activates a monster spell or trap card effect, change that card's effect to destroy one of your opponent's cards. That would be really good. Or sorry, destroy one of your opponent's monsters. Because then you can trick your opponent's cards into, well, destroying one of your little dudes, and the little dudes will summon out 2 more little dudes, and your opponent is going to be very annoyed. Okay? And we've seen cards like that with the one of the Fable monsters. I can't remember which one, but it's one of the big ones that nobody plays in Fables. Where he says each time your opponent activates the first spell card this turn, its effect is changed to your opponent discards 1 card, which is really good because, well, Fables want to discard stuff, and I feel like that's something that this deck could really benefit from. Now that being said, though, the first batch of cards that we know of, I like so far. It looks interesting. I can't wait to try out the deck. I don't think it's gonna do anything yet, unless like there's 1 or 2 more cards that we don't know of yet that they're holding back from us for some reason that are just gonna be really good. Anyways, guys, that's it for Vjump. Really small Vjump this time around, unless like more stuff gets announced later on, in which case I will be sure to do a video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later, and peace. Legend for Life. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to my 2 Patreons so far. To my 2 wonderful patrons, Cambrock223 and Night Zone. You guys are incredibly awesome, and it just I can't express my thanks enough. Thank you guys both, and I hope everybody has a great day. See y'all later. Peace out.